If every month you are making only the minimum payment on your credit card, covering rent, and just hoping nothing goes wrong this month, you are not lacking intelligence. You are missing the right order. A lot of people in the United States make one tiny mistake, and that mistake keeps them spinning in debt for years. They try to invest before they have a foundation. They try to get rich before they put out the fire. Then they wonder why they get a raise and still feel like they cannot breathe. Let me say it plainly. You do not need a trick. You need a roadmap. Do things in the right order, consistently, for long enough. Debt will back off, money will stick around, and life will feel lighter. The first step is not making more money. The first step is facing the truth. You cannot win a game if you refuse to look at the scoreboard. Pull everything out. Credit card statements, your car loan, student loans, medical debt, anything with a due date and an annual percentage interest rate. Write down the remaining balance, the minimum monthly payment, and the due date. Just doing this makes a lot of people feel their heart race, because for the first time, they see the real picture, not a vague feeling. I once met Aurora. She worked an office job, got a steady paycheck, and her federal and state taxes were already withheld before the money hit her checking account. She always thought she was fine because she paid on time, but when she sat down and added everything up, Aurora realized she had too many automatic charges every month. Entertainment subscriptions, food delivery fees, a few free trials she forgot to cancel, and one credit card balance that kept repeating like a scratch that never healed. None of those were huge on their own, but together, they were enough to keep her short every month. The problem was not that Aurora earned too little. The problem was that Aurora was not in the driver's seat. Right after you see the numbers, you have to do something that sounds simple, but is incredibly hard. Stop creating new debt. Not reduce it, stop it. New debt is like trying to bail water out of a boat while there is still a hole in the bottom. No matter how good you are at bailing, it does not matter. With credit cards, put them away, lock them in a drawer, or make it so inconvenient that you cannot swipe out of emotion. And with buy now, pay later programs, treat them like a trap wrapped in cute words. You are not buying an item, you are buying a stretch of anxiety. Some people say, but I need a credit card to live. No, you need a plan to live. What you truly need this month is housing, utilities, gas, basic food, insurance, and getting to work on time. Everything else, if it drags you into payments, is not a need. It is the price of impulse. Then comes the step most people skip because it looks small. You need a starter emergency fund. A small amount of cash, usually around $1,000, enough to block surprise hits. A blown tire on the way to work, a dentist bill, the insurance deductible when you end up in the emergency room. If you do not have this, every surprise becomes another swipe, and you are right back at the starting line. This money needs to be easy to access, but not sitting right in front of you where you will spend it emotionally. A separate savings account works. Keeping it safely at home can work too, as long as it is secure and you do not treat it like spending money. I know one family that taped a reminder right where they kept the cash, basically saying, "Only touch this for a real emergency." It sounds a little silly, but when you are changing habits, you need simple guardrails like that. You are retraining your brain on how to respond under stress. If you are starting to see what is going on, subscribe to the Wealth Wisdom Notes channel because this roadmap is not something you hear once and move on. You hear it, do it, mess up, then do it again the right way. I want you to finish the whole journey, not just feel inspired for a few minutes. Once you have that starter emergency fund, you step into the most important part of getting out of debt. Attack your debt by building momentum, not by targeting the highest interest rate first, but by knocking out the smallest balance first, so you get wins and you keep your discipline. You will be surprised by how powerful psychology is. People do not quit because they lack money. People quit because they cannot see progress. Here's how it works in real life. You keep paying the minimum on every debt so you do not fall behind. Then every extra dollar you can find that month, you throw it at the smallest debt. When that one disappears, you take the entire amount you used to pay on it, plus whatever extra you have, and you roll it onto the next debt. And you keep going. Your debt payments start rolling like a snowball, small at first, but bigger and bigger as it moves. Michael and Elizabeth are a very real example. They both worked. Their income was not terrible, but they always felt like they could not breathe because they had too many payments. They had a credit card balance of a few $100s from random spending, a few $1,000s of medical debt, a car loan, and a student loan. In the first month, they did not try to perform a miracle. They did 3 things. They cut hard on little spending, stopped eating out, and canceled a paid television service. Elizabeth also sold a few things they did not use anymore. Michael picked up an extra weekend shift. They threw all of that money at the smallest credit card balance. The feeling when the first debt disappears is strange. It is not just a few $100s. It is proof that they can control the game. And when you have proof, you start believing in yourself. The next month, they did the same thing, but it went faster because that credit card was no longer dragging them down. Then the medical debt dropped noticeably. Then they could finally see the finish line on the car loan. Through all of it, they did not wait for motivation. They used a calendar, used reminders, and treated debt payments like a required bill for their future. There is one thing you have to understand so you do not lie to yourself. Debt steals your biggest source of power, your income. Your income could create freedom, but when it gets chopped into monthly payments, you lose options. You do not feel safe changing jobs. You do not feel safe moving to another state. You do not feel safe resting when you get sick. You live like someone dragging an overloaded cart uphill, and you call that normal. And once you choose the momentum method, you have to be extremely cautious about advice that sounds reasonable but is poisonous. For example, borrowing against your home's value to handle an emergency. It sounds convenient, but an emergency is when you need the least debt, not more debt. Or the idea of borrowing at a low interest rate and investing the money to profit from the difference. On paper, it looks beautiful. In real life, one job loss, one accident, or one market downturn will teach you how expensive that difference is in risk. You do not need to make it complicated. You need a solid foundation, and that foundation starts with monthly discipline. You decide in advance where your money goes, instead of asking at the end of the month where it went. Do that consistently, and you will see debt stop being a monster. It becomes a list you are erasing, one line at a time. But if you want the snowball to roll faster, you will need a burst of acceleration. Not to punish yourself, to shorten the time you have to live with debt squeezing your throat. And there is one simple strategy that a lot of people avoid, even though it is extremely effective. It is called a short-term squeeze, a deliberate sprint. You do not live miserably forever. You choose a short season, usually 90 days, to speed up how fast you erase debt. During this season, you treat every dollar like a vote. You vote for freedom or you vote for spending. If what you just heard is valuable to you, hit like on this video for me. It is a small like, but it helps this practical content reach the people who need it, the same way you once needed someone to say it straight and wake you up. So what does a short-term squeeze mean? It means that for a few months, you prioritize debt payoff as much as possible. You eat simpler, you cook at home more, you limit emotional shopping, and you completely avoid invisible recurring fees. Things like grabbing coffee in a rush every morning, eating out a few times because you are tired, placing a delivery order because you feel bored. Each one looks small by itself, but when you bundle them together, it becomes a very real debt payment. Ethan did one very specific thing. He opened his banking application, looked at every automatic charge from the last 3 months, and asked one question. If I lost my job today, would I keep paying for this? Then he cut aggressively. 3 entertainment services, a delivery membership, and a fitness application he never used. In total, he saved more than $100 a month. Ethan did not become cheap. He simply stopped paying for things that did not make his life better. But sometimes cutting expenses is not enough. The second acceleration is increasing income strategically. Not throwing yourself at everything, but choosing the work that turns time into money the fastest during a short window.